with Kimberly. And yes, we are making breakfast. I am not that hungry right now, which seems to have, I don't know. I'm gonna eat something because I have to eat something. Hello, young one. I'm gonna eat some eggs and a kiwi and some green tea. That's what I'm gonna have. And I'm making my daughter's breakfast per usual. She eats a pancake, some fruit, and her vitamin. The pancake usually has with some extra stuff added to it, like protein powder and a variety of seeds, chia seeds, hemp seeds, and children, and pumpkin seeds to boost the nutrition. You could probably see her in the background once I move. But yeah, let's zoom down so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, Kiva. Let mommy do her thing. I'm gonna make you pancakes, okay? Yeah. So I'm just gonna, as you can see, there's little like darker bits in there. That's the chia seeds and the other type of seeds. Don't you love when children just like, whenever they hear you talking, they want to come in and start interrupting. But yeah, so just cooking this up. I put some butter in the pan. Today I want to talk about art careers and how art is kind of like, well, art is marketed as a career for rich people. But of course it's not. Like, art is for everybody, for real, for real. But it's like rich people have a little bit more access to it. Rich people can actually, yeah, afford it because art supplies are so expensive and stuff. And I want to talk about this because as a young person in my 20s, just getting started, I was having a really hard time getting into art and design. Let me get a paper towel. Sorry, y'all. All right, I said I was having a really hard time getting into art and design because in high school, I was in like the art small learning community, but that learning community only had one art class offering, and the other art like was band. And I was already playing the clarinet, and so I chose band. I had been playing since 4th grade at the time, so I don't know how many years you want to count that, but from 4th grade to high school, it was a lot of time, and so I didn't want to just give up band to learn how to draw. And so I didn't have an art degree, or I didn't have any art experience going into college. And wanting to get into a design school, you need an art portfolio. And so I got into the college that I wanted to get into. I went to Syracuse University, and I got in as an undeclared major. I actually got into a bunch of different schools. I also got into an art school called Pratt. And there's like a bar on my screen to remind me of something that's coming up in 30 minutes, and it's not going away, but it's okay. So yeah, I got into Pratt, which is an art school based in Brooklyn. And they actually gave me pretty decent financial aid, but I realized I didn't want to go to an art school for undergrad. I wanted to like be surrounded by a variety of different people. And so I went to Syracuse, and my first year of college, I took a bunch of art classes and built my portfolio while I was in school. That same year, I was also like doing like the basic classes that you had to take in order to fulfill your degree, like writing. So yeah, and I took maybe like 3 art classes and was able to create my portfolio and show it to the art school, the design school, before the end of my freshman year. I also applied to the architecture school, but in order to get into the architecture school, you had to take pre-calc or calc, one of those, and you had to pass. I didn't pass. I did not pass the calculus class my freshman year. And so, and I didn't do that great my first semester of college. I guess just getting used to college life and workload and things like that. I got, I think, maybe 2 C's. And that's another reason why the architecture school was like, oh, I don't know. I don't think you're right for this program. And so I did not get in to that, but I got into the design school, and I went to school for environmental design, which is also interior design. I'm making you pancake. Environmental design is also interior design, but it encompasses a broader sense of what environments are, and I'll explain that a little bit. Yeah, I'm cooking. I made you 1 pancake. I might make you 1 more because you made a lot yesterday. You get some strawberries. So here's what her plate is looking like. I made her 2 pancakes yesterday and she devoured it. So I'm gonna do that again. And if she doesn't eat it, we'll just save it for tomorrow. So environments is a broader topic. It's like I could design playgrounds if I wanted to. There's 2 different types of environments, meaning commercial and residential. Commercial is buildings, like all the buildings you see in a downtown area, and residential is houses. So yeah, went to school for that. But funnily enough, I did a lot. Well, how do I phrase it? I got really into graphic design probably about my 3rd or 4th year of college. Before I even talk about that, the thing about starting your major late is, well, for me, I had to take an extra year of school. So I was supposed to do 5 years because there's like a sequence of classes you have to take and you can't take them out of order. But what had happened was I actually ended up having to take 6 years of undergrad. 1, because my dad got really sick when I was a sophomore and threw off my whole like schedule that semester, and I like missed tests and missed assignments because I didn't go home. That's a very long story that I should actually probably tell one day. But I was just not at school, and it was really stressful. And so I had to like file incomplete on 2 classes that semester. And I'll just tell you, like, college was not like a linear process for me. And people are always just like so strict on humans about like how they do things, and sometimes just things just don't go how you expect them to go. And so that was my college experience. I have a video more about like my college experience. I think it's titled how college made me lose my mind, because it was very difficult. It was very difficult being I wouldn't even say that I wasn't even poor, but like having my dad go through that health issue while I was in school made it a lot more difficult while I was in school to like be able to afford things, have the support that I needed, and things like that. So check out that video on my channel if you want to know more about like the behind the scenes of the emotions that I was going through with trying to fulfill my dreams of being a creative. But what I'm saying is I actually ended up doing 6 years, and I'm actually really glad that I got to do 6 years, because I discovered graphic design in the 4th year of college, and I got a graphic design internship with an art center that supported artists of the Black diaspora. And that was one of the coolest jobs like I've had. I started out as an intern, and then I noticed we needed so much like help in the marketing department. And so I started doing more marketing stuff, and they promoted me to marketing specialist. And I worked there for 2.5 years. And I worked there through work study in college. So it was a art center that was funded by the school. It was a nonprofit. And so that's how I built so much like experience in graphic design and marketing while I was going to school for interior design, which is funny. I want to move this. I'm sorry if this is like there. Yeah, now I can see my face. And you can see all the trash in the background. This I need to take outside, so that's why it's by the door, okay? So please do not be coming at me for it's going out when I go out. But yeah, so pancake is still cooking. So getting into graphic design is why I pushed to do graphic design post-grad. And I got one interior design internship while I was in school, and it was really fun and it paid well. But it was just not easy for me to get interior design jobs. I even connected with the Black Interior Designers Network that was based out of Georgia. I did a lot of work to become like an interior design professional because I know that's really what I really want and wanted to do. It just didn't work out for me, unfortunately. It was either work for a predominantly white interior design firm or do it on my own. And I have done some projects as an interior designer on my own, 2 projects in the last 10 years, but it's hard to find those types of clients. Her food's done. Let me go give it to her. Here you go. Here you go. So it was a lot easier and a lot more lucrative to find graphic design jobs. And so within my career, I easily jumped into freelance graphic design. Now we're gonna get into the eggs. I feel a little bit of butter on my eggs today. So while I was going through this process back in 2017, 2016, 2018, around that time, I made a blog post titled, "Was I given a bike with no pedals?" Meaning, was I given this creative education, but not taught how to like implement it into the real world? Because man, the trial and error phase of my life was fierce and very annoying. And me looking back now, it's like, yeah, I got the experience, but was it 100% aligned with what I wanted to do in life? Not really. Not really. I am a very youthful spirit. I have a youthful aesthetic. I say I specialize in, I specialize in flat graphic design, and I love colors. But I also have the other side of me that has kind of like a, I want to say conservative, just because that's the word that comes to mind, but very black and white, as you can see, like this business conservative style to me as well. It's like two different sides of the spectrum, which I think is cool. I really do enjoy modernism and minimalism and like very clean lines, but I also really enjoy whimsical, colorful things. So, and I never really got to explore the whimsical, colorful side of my design aesthetic. I would love to design like kids spaces. Oh, I only have 2 eggs in here. So I got my spinach cooking. See it on the side, cool. But talking more about that blog post, it just talked about the struggles I had being a young person without social capital or financial capital or cultural capital to get me through becoming a creative professional or a artist or a creative professional as my career full time. Because art has like financial barriers around it. 1, you have to afford your materials, and 2, you have to know people in the art world. And on top of that, you have to have the confidence to share your stuff and to even work on the stuff, you know? Let me get one more egg. If you know you want to be a creative and you don't even ever pick up a pencil or a paintbrush or digital medium or whatever art form you want to do, you'll never succeed, obviously, because people don't know what you can do. So once you get over the need to be confident, you have to have the money to constantly afford your supplies, and then you have to network your ass off to find the people that will help you be seen, because that's how you make money, is by being seen. And so for me, I had the confidence, at least to get started, because I made a logo for a friend that was like atrocious, but I was not afraid to keep going and figuring out how it could be better. And then I made myself seen by telling people, hey, I can do this, or I had the confidence to do it. And then my dad helped me get the tools that I need initially. And even when I broke the tools, I had supportive people around me that helped me get the tools back. Because somebody stole my computer, I think my sophomore year. Somebody stole my MacBook, my sophomore year of college. And my dad surely wasn't going to buy me a new one, but I had a friend that helped me buy a new one. I've been through so many computers, y'all, but that's a different story. And then the other part is being around people that can support you. Working at that art center was the best support I could have at that time. And I was surrounded by creative friends too. I had photographer friends and design friends and things like that. So that was a great stepping off point. But once I left college, it was a little harder to be seen. And I put in the work. But I put in the work in a space that would make me money too, because I was on my own making money, and I couldn't just focus on what I was interested in. I needed immediate money. So building my skill in the corporate world to make money quicker than when you're just like zoned in, trying to find like more aligned work. It's a little bit less easy to make money, because you're turning down what doesn't fit you, doesn't work for you, you know? So, my eggs are done. They're a little dark, because I was cooking fast and I was trying to talk, but there's that. Let's see. Give me a second. So as a creative, doing that, trying to make money and trying to also build skill, I definitely got burnt out quick. And I mean, yeah, it happens if you aren't being aligned with your true self. In the world that we live in, it doesn't make it easy to do both when you're not financially sound, well off, wealthy. But that's essentially why I'm reflecting, seeing like what happened, why am I where I am now, what can I do in the future to pivot, to make sure I don't get burnt out again, make sure I'm more aligned with what I really want to be doing and who I really am, and just how to move forward. That's essentially what I'm doing now. I always tell you all in every post, I have a Substack. That's where my content resides in writing form. These last couple weeks I've been talking about my career journey, the good and the bad. And my latest post that I posted last week was about like what I'm doing moving forward. What are my non-negotiables? What are my intentions for what I want to do now? And what am I doing now? And I could explain that here. I am working for myself. I am seeking more aligned positions, clients, projects, so that I can just really be doing what I am meant to do, what I'm good at, and what like kind of lights up my lights up my spirit. Let me plate this up real quick. It's scary. It is definitely scary being in this position because alignment doesn't always come with money. Alignment, my battery was dying, is dying. Alignment is, it's not a linear road. A lot of stuff is not linear, to be honest. I don't know who said that things are supposed to be linear. They are not. They're not really supposed to be. Got a little kiwi right here. Just cut this up. How do I want to cut this? You know, you could eat the skin of the kiwi. I don't know if I want to because it's a little bitter, but I don't want to peel the skin off. I'm just gonna cut it in half. So let me talk about the services, the offerings. What am I trying to do? Well, I'm a creative, so I will always be a creative in every aspect of what I do. And so I'm also like very business minded. And I sync the two. I'm a lot of things. Let's just say that, because I can say also a bunch of times. Let me break it down. My first offering is coaching to individuals and to businesses and communities that need creative strategy, that need a boost in confidence, that need somebody to help guide them to more aligned life. Okay? With individuals, it's all about personable goals, aspirations. I'm just here to help people kind of see more clearly about what's going on in their lives and how they can make it different. Giving them the courage that they need in order to make viable change, and encouraging them to be more creative in their lives, because that really pushes us and boosts our our mental juices. With businesses, it's all about creative strategy. That's I feel like that's a whole different video, but just leave it at that, okay? And then communities, it's also creative strategy, but in the sense of building intergenerational events and programming and just being more practical with how communities meet the needs of humans, practical and creative. And I'm not gonna go into more detail here. This is supposed to be more of a casual chit chat. And yeah, that's what I do. Providing guidance, clarity, inspiration, encouragement to individuals, communities, and businesses to think more creatively, more human-centered, more earth-centered. That's what I'm moving forward. And I'm using everything that I've done in the past as an anchor for my knowledge, my wisdom in this area. The reflection is so important in understanding where you were and where you want to be. It looks kind of weird, doesn't it? Maybe because of how I cut it. But I have to cut this short today. I have a meeting in about 10 minutes and I have to eat my food. So I will talk to you all in the next one. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to do that one more time so I can get a cool little screenshot. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for tuning in. Peace out.